Let me start with a simple question. When your organization says we went digital, did you actually change how work happens? Or did you just take the same paper process and put it on a screen? Because that's what I see in most organizations. Digital forms, digital approvals, digital PDFs. But the thinking behind the work is still completely manual. Today, I want to talk about digital-first process design, what it is, why it matters, and how you can start applying it in a practical way. Not as a theory, as a real approach to redesigning work for the digital era. From digitizing paper to designing for digital. Here's the problem with digitizing. Digitizing is basically saying, we already have a process, now let's put it online. So the form becomes a web form. The approval becomes an email workflow. The signature becomes a click. But the structure of the process stays exactly the same. And that's why many digital transformation efforts feel disappointing. Because the real opportunity of digital isn't the screen. The real opportunity is what becomes possible when you combine data, automation, with integrations experience. Digital-first design starts with a different mindset. It says, if we were building this process today, knowing what digital tools can do, how would it look? Processes should be born digital, not patched later. Why digital-first design matters. When you design with digital at the core, you don't just make things faster. You unlock capabilities you didn't have before. First, smarter speed. Work moves faster because systems talk to each other directly. No chasing, no forwarding, no manual "can you confirm" emails. Second, seamless data flow. Information moves automatically across teams and platforms. The moment something changes in one system, it updates elsewhere. Third, better decisions. Real-time data replaces outdated reports. Instead of waiting for weekly updates, leaders can see what's happening now. And fourth, a better experience. Employees and customers get simpler interactions with less friction, less re-entry, less waiting, less confusion. A digital-first process isn't built around documents. It's built around information. And it's not built around approvals. It's built around outcomes. Quick setup, what we'll cover. So in this video, I'll walk you through 6 core principles of digital-first process design. Then we'll look at 2 practical examples, travel approvals and HR onboarding. And finally, I'll share a simple way to start designing digital-first processes without needing a massive transformation program. Let's get into the principles. Principle 1, start with the user experience. The first principle is simple. Start with the user experience. Design from the perspective of the people who use the process, employees, customers, partners, whoever touches it. And ask this question, what should this experience feel like? Not, what system should we use? Because many digital processes fail for one reason. They ignore the human interface. If the process is confusing, is slow, or frustrating, people will avoid it, work around it, or do it incorrectly. So digital-first design begins with experience. Clarity, simplicity, and flow. Principle 2, treat data as the lifeblood. Second principle, data is the lifeblood of digital work. Every piece of data should be captured once and reused many times. That means no duplication, no retyping the same information into 3 systems, no copy-paste from email into Excel into ERP. Digital-first thinking is design the data flow, not the data entry. When data moves cleanly, everything improves, accuracy improves, speed improves, and reporting becomes reliable. A lot of transformation success is simply about treating data like an asset, not a burden. Principle 3, automate by default. Principle 3, automate by default. Automation should not be an afterthought. It shouldn't be something you add later once the process is live. If a step can be automated safely and logically, design it to be automated from day one. Manual work should be the exception, not the rule. Think about how many steps in your organization exist only because someone has to check something, someone has to forward something, someone has to confirm something. In a digital-first process, those checks happen automatically when rules allow it, and humans step in only when judgment is needed. Principle 4, design for integration, not isolation. Principle 4, integration, not isolation. Disconnected systems create manual effort, and manual effort becomes invisible cost. When systems don't talk, people become the AP. They move information from one place to another. Digital-first design assumes systems will communicate through APIs, middleware, or workflow engines, so data can flow without human relay. This is where digital transformation becomes real, not one fancy system, but systems connected into one consistent workflow. Principle 5, build for mobility and accessibility. Principle 5, mobility and accessibility. Design processes that work anywhere, on any device. In the digital-first world, mobility isn't a feature, it's the environment. People work from offices, sites, homes, airports, everywhere. If your process depends on being at a specific desk or using a specific device, it will slow down. So design for flexibility, simple interfaces, responsive tools, and accessible workflows. Principle 6, embed compliance by design. Principle 6, compliance by design. Many organizations treat compliance like extra steps layered on top. More approvals, more paperwork, more manual checks. Digital-first design does it differently. You embed governance, traceability, and auditability into the process itself. So compliance becomes natural, not a burden, not an additional workflow. When designed properly, you get control and speed at the same time because the process enforces rules automatically. Digitize versus design. The travel approval example. Now let's make this real with an example. Travel approvals. Here's a typical digitized process. An employee fills out an online form. HR manually reviews it. It gets forwarded by email. Finance checks budget. Someone replies. And the employee waits. Yes, it's digital, but it's still the same manual process, just faster paperwork. Now, a digital-first version. The system automatically checks travel policy. It verifies available budget instantly. It routes the request only if approval is actually required. And it updates HR and finance records automatically. The employee doesn't chase people. Departments don't re-enter data. And approvals happen only when they add value. The first approach is digitizing. The second approach is designing. Designing for scale and change. Here's another key idea. A good digital process isn't just efficient today, it adapts tomorrow. Ask 2 questions. Can this process scale if the company doubles in size? And can it adapt quickly if regulations or policies change? This is why modular design matters. This is why low-code platforms and BPM tools can be powerful. They allow you to adjust processes without rebuilding everything from scratch. Digital first isn't only about speed, it's about resilience. 0935-1055. Human plus digital. Augmented intelligence. Now, an important point. Digital first does not mean humanless. The best process know when to involve people for exceptions, complex decisions, approvals with real risk, or creative problem solving. Technology is excellent at speed, accuracy, repetition. Humans are excellent at empathy, judgment, innovation. When you design the collaboration properly, you create what I call augmented intelligence inside the organization. Not humans versus machines. Humans plus machines, each doing what they do best. Example, HR onboarding, reimagined. Let's take another practical example. HR onboarding. The old way is familiar. Forms are filled, documents are emailed, it gets a request, accounts take days, payroll waits, and the new employee starts with frustration instead of momentum. Now, the digital first way, new hire data is entered once, by HR or the candidate. The system automatically creates IT credentials and access rights. Payroll records are generated instantly, and the employee receives a personalized welcome email and access to onboarding materials right away. No delays, no manual back and forth. One connected workflow. This is what digital-first design looks like when applied properly. Simple for the user, integrated behind the scenes, and automated where possible. How to start designing digital-first processes. Now, how do you start without turning it into a massive program? Here's a practical approach. Step 1. Pick one process with high volume and clear pain points. Something people complain about. Something that wastes time. Step 2. Map the current state, the as-is. Understand what's broken. Step 3. Reimagine the future state, the to-be. And this part is important. Don't let existing systems limit your thinking. Step 4. Prototype quickly. Use workflow tools, low-code apps, or even a simple mock-up. The goal is learning fast. Step 5, test, learn, and iterate. Real users will always show you what works and what doesn't. Small wins build confidence, and confidence creates momentum. Closing the mindset shift, let me close with the most important message. Digital-first process design is not just a technical approach. It's a mindset. It challenges leaders to ask a different question. If we were building this process today, with all the tools we have now, how would we design it? When that question guides your thinking, everything changes. Automation feels natural, data becomes powerful, and work becomes simpler, faster, and more human. Preview plus call to action. In the next video, we'll explore incremental automation, how to implement change step by step, reduce risk, build confidence, and deliver quick wins that inspire wider transformation. If this perspective resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. What's one process in your organization that needs to be redesigned, not just digitized? And if you want more content like this, follow us for the next article in the series.